it going? Are we going or not? Then you hear the beep, beep, beep. Oh, well, this would be an awkward beginning if it is. Okay, so I thought real quick for my second hour, I'd make a quick video on what to expect here. Shut this video off right away if you haven't done anything. If you're trying to be a Common Core copier and just copy my ideas, then you ain't learning jack squats. Apparently, I don't know English. You know what I'm doing right now is highlighting the questions that should be done by squaring both sides, solving or square rooting. Sorry, I just said that wrong right off the bat. And I could identify those. First part is like 1 and 2. Neither one of these have a middle term. So right away, I should be, and I'm not doing 2. I'm not, if you can't do 2 after I do 1, that's on you. All right. Divide by 3, and then look at that. There is no middle term, so I get the k squared isolated. So therefore, I can go ahead and square root both sides. And then just for purposes of speed, oh, shoot, so I'm going to screw up. Oh, this is 4 times 15. All right, so 4 times 15 is what 60 is. Then when I ask you what's the square root of 4, everyone can tell me 2. But why do people screw up what comes in and what comes out? All right. And then I made one mistake, didn't I? It's plus minus. I'm going to get you on tomorrow's quiz. Yes, there is a quiz tomorrow based off of you being able to do these questions. Oh, I'll skip to 8. No, I'll do the harder one. No, you don't FOIL, then distribute, and then try to add the 5 and subtract 217. You've just made this way tougher. And then it could end up being the quadratic formula after that. What a nightmare. You've made your questions so bad. Oh, by the way, this key answer is wrong. So I'll really test those that actually watch this video. I think I typed this in last year, but then I forgot to do the key and change that. That is not correct. But oddly enough, this one I believe is correct for that one. Maybe it isn't. Yeah, I think it is. 5 and 3, 4. Square root of 2 and negative 2. But yeah, I think that is right. Nice. Okay, but back to this one. Because now when I get this isolated in square roots, this is what I end up with. I end up with the square root of 111. By the way, 111, 3 does go into it, but I think it's 37 times. 37 prime. So there's no perfect square in there. So really all you have to do after that is add 6. And then this gets shoved in front. That's different than this. I get some people that are screwing this up. That is way different. I don't know how else to explain that. You know, this previous one that I did, when I square root 4, this is a product. So when I square root 4, the 2 comes out in front. Why is it plus minus? Because x squared equals 4 is both positive and negative 2. You know, so whenever you square root both sides, you do have to account for 2 answers. Many of these are factorable. I'm going to cheat and look at the answers. When I look at the answers, I know which ones are factorable, and we should, be able to identify that. So cheating again, we definitely had to add 5 for this. So I think the ones that are factorable are this one. I don't want to tell you the other ones. We should investigate if they're factorable or not. I'm going to really give that a whirl here. So we should investigate when I add 5, I almost did it again. Is there a simple MA scenario that multiplies to 63 and adds to negative 16? And the answer is yes, there is. It's x minus 9, x minus 7, or it's negative 7, negative 9. Let me just double check. Good FOILers, good factors. X squared, negative 7x, negative 9x is negative 16x. Negative 9 times negative 7 is 63. Don't stop there. I caught people first hour. I had them come up just to check their work. It's not to put you on the spot. It's to say, hey, you didn't go further and solve for x. Many people just left x minus 9 times x minus 7. You didn't finish. You got to solve. I believe 5 is factorable, but I shouldn't tell you that. And then whenever it's not factorable, it turns into the quadratic formula. So I'm going to go ahead and do one of those. Add 9x. That makes that 12x. And then add 11. Ooh, this is going to be some big numbers. What multiplies to 55 and adds to 12? Automatically, I have a problem. Like, ugh, that doesn't sound like anything that's going to happen. So it's the opposite of b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And no complaining if you don't have this memorized. It's on you to memorize. I don't get it. No, you just don't have it memorized. There's a huge difference, my silly little friends. Square root of, what do I have left over? Well, I might want to go to the calculator here. I'm going to go run and get one. It takes 8 hours for my calculator to open up on this thing. So it is 144 minus 4 times 5 times 11. Negative 76. Nice. What just happened? All right, this crazy thing. I got my microphone in my way and I can't touch the screen. It's so like touchy, this touch screen. Now 76, I'm going to go ahead and break that down. I think 4 goes into that. Good. So 76 is 4 times 19. So I'm going to break this down for those that are doing this wrong. First of all, it's square root of negative 1 times 4 times 19. I don't get where people are double rooting. You're just not doing the simplistic question, what is the square root of 4? And the answer is 2. So that's why 2 is out. And then what's the square root of a negative? It's an I. So this is 2i. And I guess I'm doing this too fast because people are not getting this, how to simplify this further. The main thing is 2 goes in all three of these. 2, 2, and 2. You can't just take 12 over 10. I caught people first hour doing that, still doing a 6 over 5 equals 2 error. Or split this up into separate fractions. I don't know what you need to do. You got to get this figured out, though. All right? We got to get something done here where we understand those fractions. So then this does become negative 6 over 5. This does become 1 root 19 over 5. All right, or it would have been negative 6 plus or minus I root 19 all over 5. So quadratic formula, factor if you can factor, simplify that quad. That doesn't get any worse. I mean, if we're able to simplify that, we're good to go on that. Saw some people email me like, what am I done? Did I get this right? And they had a square root of 44 left over as a final answer. 44 is 4 times 11. So square root of 4 is 2 root 11. And then you proceed from there. I did want this, and I want to get one that has a special scenario. Good, I'll do 13. Read the directions. I had someone tell me, I don't know how to do any of these. 20 minutes of notes yesterday was about the discriminant, so I do have a problem with that. Instantaneously, that is the discriminant. I don't know if that person's on their phone during the notes or what have you. It drives me crazy. All right, so what I have to do is 9n squared. Honors class. You must focus. You're not doing the whole quadratic formula. You're doing just the part underneath the square root because it is this part that dictates or discriminates the kind of solutions that you have. All right, so I think I get a hundo, and then I'm just going to go to the calculator. 100 is negative 10 squared. Ooh, don't put negative 10 squared and get negative 100. Again, those mistakes should not be happening. Oh, shoot, I screwed up. I'm going to do plus 4 times 9 because you do have a negative times a negative. All right. Next thing you ask yourself, first of all, that is the discriminant. So that is what the discriminant is. It's that 244. And then ultimately, what would happen if you were doing the quadratic formula to solve this? This would be irrational. So we have two real, but then irrational zeros. And all that means is you would have to get your calculator out to find out where those are as x-intercepts, and you'd have to type that. And you probably have to do that a few more times to type and get those answers correct. Okay, that's it. This is what you do on this section, and then you analyze correctly. You look at your notes, and then I told you which ones to do by square rooting. Then the others are either factoring or quadratic formula, and be able to simplify that.